go. The Perfect Podcast Show. Welcome to it right now. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching the video. Thanks for watching. Right now, The Perfect Podcast Show is underway on the USA Global TV and Radio Network with me, Keith, as the host. This is The Perfect Podcast Show, the show where I am locked literally in this room and cannot leave until I do the perfect show. That was the agreement. Thought it'd be easy, but now I'm in Purgatory podcast Purgatory, trying to make the perfect show. I've tried many times, and none of them have been perfect. I'm hoping, and hopefully this one will do it, because I would like to leave this room. Behind me, you see a nice background, but in front of me, it's just a bare concrete wall with chains. When the show's done, I get chained up. And until I make the perfect show, I will not be released. So hopefully this will be the perfect show. If you have any tips or anything, you can call in and leave a message about how I can make the perfect show. This is a real phone number for only incoming calls. Trust me, I've tried to do outgoing to get some help, and I can't. There's no outgoing calls that can be made from this phone number, but incoming calls can come in. 818-392-4623. 818-392-4623. A real phone number that I'm paying for. Another phone line from AT&T. Costs a lot. These signs behind me cost a lot, 20 grand each. A lot goes into this. I thought instantly, I'd go, I can do one episode, it'll be perfect. So far, not. But call in, give me some tips, advice, maybe how to undo chains in the middle of the night. That would be nice. But anyways, let's listen to one of those calls now from one of our from the answering machine that is here. Are there answering machines anymore? I don't know. It's a voicemail. Anyways, play a call. Hi there. Thanks for calling the Perfect Podcast Show. Leave your message and we'll play it on the air. How was that? Does that work?
Well, hello, it's long-time listener Ringo Starr, from the Beatles. We were a band, Anyway, yeah, man, love the Perfect Podcast Show. It kinda reminds me of the time I was in a band with my mates John, George, Paul, and Ringo. All that's me, we were called the Beatles. Maybe you heard of us, have you? Tell me. Well, anyway, write the show. It's good, Oh, peace and love.
Well, thanks for that call. Not very helpful. Again, the Perfect Podcast Show. I'm really trying to make the perfect show here. I'm really trying, okay? Anyways, thanks for calling in. If you want to call in, give some advice, please do. 818-392-4623. Real phone number I'm paying for every month. Until I make the perfect show, I gotta keep paying for it. But hopefully to help those costs, like most podcasts, the Perfect Podcast Show also has ads. This is a totally real ad, not just one that I recorded. It's a real ad. So let's play one of those ads now. Yeah, go do that. This episode of the Perfect Podcast Show is brought to you by Coming soon to Unsolved America, a case like no other. 15 years ago, someone went missing and they've never been found. One morning, Eliza Washington went out to the grocery store and never came back. Did they get lost in the freezer section? Did they get stuck looking for ripe pineapples and watermelon? Nobody knows because it's an unsolved case. A case like no other. A case about a missing person. That person is Eliza Washington, and they're lost, and nobody knows where they are. So if you know where they are, don't tell us because this is an unsolved case and we made a whole podcast about it. So again, if you know where they are, or if you're even Eliza Washington, do not tell us. Don't email us, don't call us, don't DM us on social media because we made an entire podcast about you being missing. So please, listen, but don't tell us if you've been found. New on Unsolved America. Hey, well, there you go. Thanks for that ad. Today, very excited about this. We have not one, but two returning guests to the Perfect Podcast Show. Very long-time dear friends of mine. We used to be on an improv group together. My first improv group I was ever on. Last time, there was some miscommunication about the goal of the show, or that it was live. It is a live show. So hopefully, everything was squared away and things were clear this time. And I'm really looking forward to a very uplifting, funny comedic show. Because again, these are two people who were on my improv group many years ago. So it's all about yes-anding and building and just having fun and having a very funny time. So I'm hoping this will be a very funny episode and it will be perfect. Please welcome back to the Perfect Podcast Show, Wes Johnson and David Knoell. Good to have you guys back again after last time. Last time it was I was a little rude, but it was a little rough because I just wanted things to be professional again for the show. But happy to have David's gone already. But happy to have you back. I know last time a lot was going on, but
yeah, no, I've got a nice neutral background for you guys this time.
Nice.
I saw the comments online. I saw the feedback. It was just too much. It was hard to focus. So I've got a nice neutral background. So don't you worry about that.
Thanks for that.
Although my nipples are currently exposed.
Yeah, well, thank you for covering
so
them.
I'm keeping out of frame. This is a much skimpier cut tank top because the heat dome is getting worse.
It's still there. Well, that's hey, there you are. Yeah, that's great.
It's been hard.
Yeah. It's still heat dome's still
going on. A
going
couple of my friends don't have air conditioning.
Wow. Do you have air conditioning? Because it looks
oh
like
yeah. No, I live in a very nice house.
Okay, good. Well, glad to have you both on live right now. And happy this one's a little bit more professional. So just happy to have you on so we can just chat really what's going on in your life and exciting things going on. Anything you want to promote, of course, we can talk about that as well.
I've just been I don't know, I've been processing a lot of grief lately, and I was kind of hoping this would be an okay venue to share, because I actually haven't, we went to college and we did so much work together. I think we were all kind of close on this deep cosmic level.
Yeah. And again, this is live, so if there's something you don't want to say, this is live. This is just to say that.
So let that empower you.
Yeah, let it empower you.
Let the fact that it's live empower you to really it's already vulnerable. So you don't even have to be afraid of being vulnerable because it's already live.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I'm not afraid because I don't think I've technically broken any laws.
Okay. Yeah, but
again,
go ahead.
I think on the last show, I was swearing at my cat a lot for running into the basement, which happens. I mean, cats are cats. I mentioned that we have a puppy, and we have a puppy because unfortunately we had to put my dog down 6 or 7 months ago.
Sorry about that.
That sucked, but he was really, really old. It's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but saying sorry doesn't actually help. So don't worry about it.
I feel bad. I feel bad that happened, but go ahead.
I mean, he was 13, 14, pretty good age for a dog, but he started going real crazy. Right? Which sucked because he was physically actually in really good shape for a 14-year-old terrier. But he was just nuts. When people have Alzheimer's, they get crazy, weird at night. I don't want to say crazy because that's rude, but they get weird and it gets worse at night, and you call it sundowning. So he'd been sundowning for a while, but then in the last 6 months he started sun upping, is what we called it, because it was just all day long. I don't know if the terminology I used was clear enough to imply that. He decided, I don't know if he was incontinent or just stopped caring about where he peed and pooped, and he would just pee and poop inside the house, and we put diapers on him. Then he learned that he could eat his diapers, which became a whole new thing. Anyway, so it really was the right choice. But I've just been processing the grief of that with the new puppy that we've had come in. But that's not necessarily the grief of that dog, because that dog really did live a full life, and it was a totally okay place to end things. But I've had pets all my life, and they're definitely pets where we got rid of them in one way or another, where it wasn't really biologically an ideal time to do so, and that's kind of what I'm struggling with.
The pets before,
the ones that we had to make a decision about that hadn't naturally reached some sort of acceptable end situation.
And you had to
I
make the
just feel like no
choice.
matter how long a pet's in your family, or in your life, you feel like they're a part of your family.
It was a turtle.
Yeah, turtles live usually a long time on their own.
Yeah,
It could be
Yeah.
50 years and it's like a teenager for a turtle. They're ready to get it
So
on.
we were in a situation where we had to well, we honestly tried to rehome the turtle. We did. We actually had somebody because we're moving someplace. We're moving to a very small apartment in New York, actually, from out of town, and we couldn't bring everything with us because New York apartments are the size of a shoebox. Duh. And I'm just making sure not to expose my nipples, based on the notes from last week.
Thank you.
So we're trying to find a place where the turtle could live, and we had a friend who was like, "Oh, absolutely! Like, I'm happy." Sorry, there we go. We had a friend who absolutely was like, "Oh, I'm willing to watch the turtle, take care of it. I'll give it a good home. I love pets." And then like last minute, we're like, "Oh my gosh, no!" Like my mom said no, and we're like, "Why? Like, aren't you 33? Like, why does your mom? Oh, I still live with my mom." Like we didn't know that. We would have found an alternate plan and not relied on. And you can't.
33 is young. It's young for a turtle.
No, this was the person. This was the human. Actually, the turtle might have been 33 as well. Anyway, we had like 24 hours to figure out what to do with the turtle. And so I'll open up this quandary of mine to the group. What would you have done? You've got 24 hours to figure out what to do with a turtle.
I mean, how big is this turtle?
Ready or slider, like,
okay,
small enough to fit into a messenger bag, which might be a clue to what I did.
But not small enough to keep in your apartment in New York.
They need 1 inch of turtle should have 10 gallons of water.
Okay.
So which is a big tank.
So I mean, I would have maybe called some pet stores, or
No one wanted them.
or put a thing on social media. Hey, free
Couldn't
turtle.
give it away.
Okay. I mean, I guess there's find out where they live and like release it into the wild. Maybe if it's the
Not
right
really
habitat.
native to the area, you know. But like obviously, I'm not an idiot. I had these ideas, like call a pet store, like post them. Like obviously, I did those and it didn't work.
No, we're
just
asking what just to ask.
Put
what
a flyer. People put flyers on posts.
Yeah, flyers.
So have either of you been to a Bass Pro Shop before?
There's turtles.
Yeah, Bass Pro Shop.
Right,
Yeah.
and in the center of the Bass Pro Shop, they've got an enormous aquarium set up. Like, they've got all the taxidermy on the wall. Well, there's a Bass Pro Shop near me that I didn't discover it. It's like the way Columbus discovered America. That I realized has not only a large aquatic fish display, they've also got a large aquatic turtle display, and actually have a large tank of red ear sliders. And so it occurred to me.
I just want to clarify something. You're driving to New York City. You got a turtle in the back of your car, and you don't know what to do with it. And you look out the window and you see a Bass Pro Shop.
That's like half right. Like, we did this before we drove to New York, but it was definitely like seeing the Bass Pro and being like, I have an idea.
Light bulb moment.
You see,
on the way.
Light bulb moment.
It's like an interface design question, right? Zoos, aquariums, all that sort of stuff, and by nature, Bass Pro Shop, because they've got the animals there, they're designed in a way to protect you from the animals and protect you from interacting with the animals, from like petting it or feeding it, or taking it home, like taking an animal out of the enclosure.
So getting to the animals is difficult.
However, they are not designed to prevent you from introducing an animal to an enclosure.
This is true.
And so with the turtle in a messenger bag, beginning of COVID, so masks on for safety and anonymity, and a baseball cap on, so only my eyes are showing.
Mhm.
I've got nice
Right.
generic. I have generic eyes. I've heard that before.
Mhm.
Right.
I don't even know who this is anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Anyway, so went to the Bass Pro Shop and released the turtle into their tank and left.
You can skip. So did you
That's it.
toss it? Did you toss it in? How
No,
did
it's
you
a
get
nice
it
gentle like. I mean, there was probably about a foot where it fell through the air. But I did lower my arm into the tank as much as possible.
So you're standing above the water, and then you.
No, I'm
I
standing
feel
below
I
the water.
feel like you maybe sacrificed some inconspicuousness by lowering your arm down that far, where you might have just been better off with a quick frisbee toss.
and make a big splash. So that was actually the biggest concern that I had for this whole process. Is not getting rid of the turtle. I mean, the turtle's fine. Like it's in a professionally managed space, and I can't imagine like how long it took them to realize if they ever did. You know, like wait a minute, how many? Didn't we have 17 turtles? Why do we have 18 turtles all of a sudden? You know,
Until the amount of
no
food
one
they
would
give,
figure it out.
all of a
No
sudden,
one would figure it out.
wow, there's not enough food for these turtles.
Not adding up. It's costing the store money.
Mm-hmm. Bass Pro Shops
The
have been going
accountant will
out of
be the one who
business.
figures it out.
Yeah. The one by
The
me closed
accountant is
down.
always the one.
So yeah,
So
someone.
I do grieve the turtle.
I mean, you put him
Have you
in a
ever
good
thought
place.
of just visiting the turtle?
Yeah.
We
See if
have,
he's
but
there?
I'm afraid I'm afraid to go back into that particular store just in case. And we didn't like mark the turtle beforehand, so I wouldn't know like which one is our turtle.
Okay. Thought this turtle was special to you, but you wouldn't recognize it. Okay. That's all right. But I was picturing, you know,
Like I said, a lot of
tank.
grief.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I was picturing the tank was here and you're the underwater viewing and you got to do a toss because I've seen a Bass Pro Shops like that. But you're standing and you're above the water, dropped it in. So I want to know when you dropped it in, what'd the turtle do? Just swim and join in? Everything was cool?
What else do turtles do?
Panic or not swim?
Swim around.
Swim
Yeah.
back to you and say, "Don't leave me."
That did not happen.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
Never had a turtle before.
You're not
I
missing
went
much.
to that Bass Pro Shop, actually, Wes. That's what this podcast has been about.
What?
Keith West told me this story like a couple years ago when I called him on the phone. And in the meantime, I went to that Bass Pro Shop and I pretended, look, for those that don't know, I'm a professional actor. And I pretended to be part of a YouTube channel about turtles and said that I could talk to turtles and just wanted to interview these turtles. And I had a little picture of Wes that I took, right? Just his eyes, only his eyes. I zoomed in on those and I slapped
come
it
on,
up
they're
against
generic.
right up against the glass. And one of these little turtles came up.
Turtellini.
No way. No way. He swam for a long time up to the glass.
Swam. And I could hear the turtle singing. Would you know my name?
Wow.
If I saw you in heaven,
Wow.
would you know my name?
Oh, it kept singing. Okay. That's good.
It was my ringtone for the 3 years that I had him.
Wow. And he swam up to the glass and recognized those very generic eyes.
And I feel like that was the turtle's way of saying, I forgive you. And so maybe if
Wow.
if the studio audience out there puts enough turtle emojis in the chat, maybe you can forgive yourself.
Well, there
Thank
you
you.
heard it. You put the turtle emojis in the chat. Post them
I gotta
in the
go get
comments.
tissue.
Because there's the nipples. Wow, that's amazing. So you never made this a YouTube video when you did this undercover?
No, I was just acting. I wasn't
Okay.
really a YouTuber.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, you heard it here first. Go and put the turtle emojis up. Go visit Bass Pro Shops. When you go, look at the turtles and maybe one
And
will
if you
sing
don't
to
want Wes to forgive himself, then I think put a lightning bolt emoji.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if you don't want him to forgive himself, if you want him to feel guilty and grief forever, as David said, put a lightning bolt. I say put the turtle. He went through a lot to do this. But if you don't want to, you can put a lightning bolt, but you have to put something. It has to be a turtle or a lightning bolt. Wow, that's incredible. Incredible story. I was not, especially after last time, was not expecting something so heartfelt and so personal to happen today. Wow. Well, Wes is gone. He can't handle this anymore. But thanks for being here and sharing this story today. It was really really unexpected. So throw those turtles up, throw those lightning bolts up, and visit your local Bass Pro Shops.
You think Wes should go back and get the turtle?
Oh,
Put a little car emoji next to a city emoji, next to a bass emoji, next to the little store emoji.
okay. Well, if you want him, yeah, said he doesn't recognize the turtle, so I'm not gonna recommend people that. Also, people listening, don't go to Bass Pro Shops and try to rescue the turtle yourself. That would be stealing. So do not do that. When I said go to Bass Pro Shops, I meant like to just, give them your business. Support the turtles by looking at the turtles. Do not steal turtles. But in the chats, put a lightning bolt or the car thing, maybe not, or turtles so Wes can forgive himself. Well, thanks again for being here. Fascinating story, truly.
I'm willing to take questions from the chat if people have other advice that they're looking for.
Okay, yeah, if there's other questions, you can leave it in the chat. And we'll get to that. We're at the end of the episode, so if there's not questions already, which there hasn't been, we'll have to get to them and send them to you for another time. But you're not an expert about turtles. You're saying just in general questions for you.
In general. But if you want to ask a question about a turtle, put a turtle emoji in the chat. And then we'll answer questions about turtles. If you want me to answer questions about anything sports related, put a lightning bolt in the chat. If you want me to answer trivia questions that you don't think I know, all right, put a car, then with a city emoji, next to a store emoji, next to a fish emoji.
Okay, well, we use the turtle one if Wes should forgive himself, and lightning if he shouldn't. And the other one was very, very close to the other emoji order, which was if Wes should go and steal the turtle back. It was slightly different because of where the fish was placed, but it's still kind of confusing.
If you think the turtle emoji should represent Wes's turtle, put the turtle emoji followed by an exclamation point, the 100 with the exclamation point in the chat.
Okay.
But then if you think the turtle should mean my thing, you put the turtle emoji with the 100 and then an extra exclamation point. So it looks like Roman numeral 2 with the exclamation points, and we'll know the second turtle thing that we said.
Yeah. So it's just
the one.
A lot of turtles because there's going to be turtles in one. It's a lot of turtles. I would say if you want to ask a question, just write the question and we'll get the question over to David. That'll be the easiest thing. And maybe just throw in emojis and they don't represent anything because there might be some confusion there. But thanks again for being here on the show. Much different than last time. We'll get those questions to you. Wes, hope you're doing okay. Thanks for being here.
The Sister Act tape is about to end, so I will say goodbye. It is always great to get a letter from you.
All right, thank you, David and Wes, for being on the Perfect Podcast Show. That was something. I don't think it was perfect, but it was something. Very serious. Was not expecting it to be serious. I was like, come on, hey, we're improv. Let's go. But there you have it. Not really perfect, but we'll try again another time. Well, thanks for watching the Perfect Podcast Show. We're live every Tuesday at noon Pacific time on the USA Global TV and Radio Network. And we will end the show with two things. One, thank you for watching or listening if you just have it on, even though there's a lot of visual things. But anyways, thanks for tuning in. You're not really tuning. Thanks for clicking in. That'll be the one I'll say. Thanks. We can't edit this out again. It's live, right? Yeah. Okay. Thanks for tuning in, clicking in. I messed up again. I know, but we can't. Okay. Well, thanks for clicking in to the Perfect Podcast Show. We will leave you now with our musical guest.
Keith is a host. He's got a dream. Every week he tries, but fails it seems. The mic cuts out. Guests don't show. Keith's sweating bullets. Oh boy, what a throw. The Perfect Podcast is always a blast. So bad it's good, why can't it last? Keith's awkward laugh, silent moments too. Technical glitches, he's got no clue. Thought he booked Oprah, ended with a mime. Keith's face turned red, oh what a time. The Perfect Podcast is always a blast. So bad it's good, why can't it last? Keith awkward laugh, silent moments too. Technical glitches, he's got no clue. Thought he booked Oprah, ended with the mime. Keith's face turned red, oh what a time. The Perfect Podcast is always a blast. So bad it's good, why can't it last?